It is my great honor to welcome you to the opening plenary session of the 6th Annual Meeting Board of Governors of the New Development Bank. I acknowledge the presence of the Minister of Finance of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Minister Anton Siluanov, Chairman of the Board of Governors. The Minister of Finance of the Republic of India, Her Excellency Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Vice Chair of the Board of Governors, and Alternate Governor Tarun Bajaj. His Excellency Minister of Finance of the People's Republic of China and Governor of the New Development Bank, Mr. Kun Liu, and Alternate Governor, Madam Zhou. His Excellency Minister of Finance of the Republic of South Africa and Governor of the New Development Bank, Mr. Tito Mboweni, and Alternate Governor, Dondo Mogajane. I also acknowledge the Deputy Minister of Foreign Trade and International Affairs of the Ministry of Economy of the Federative Republic of Brazil and Temporary Alternate Governor, Mr. Roberto Fent. I acknowledge the presence of the New Development Bank President, Mr. Marcos Troyo. The theme of the annual meeting today is New Development Paradigms, the Evolution of Infrastructure. 6 years ago, the inaugural meeting of the Board of Governors of the New Development Bank took place in Russia. Today, the Board of Governors meeting takes place virtually in the context of unprecedented global environment. It is an important moment to not only celebrate the success story of NDB, but also reflect on the new paradigms for development and the New Development Bank's role therein. It is my privilege now to hand the floor to the Chairman of the Board of Governors and the Minister of Finance of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Mr. Anton Siluanov.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, Governors, Directors, Your Excellency President Troy, her colleagues, I'm happy to welcome you to the 6th Annual Meeting of the Board of Governors of the New Development Bank. It is the second time that we have to meet in this virtual format. We've faced the largest recession since the Great Depression, according to the IMF. In 2020, the reduction of the global economy amounted to almost 3.5% due to fiscal and monetary measures taken by governors of our countries. The aggregate drop of GDP of BRICS economies stood at 0.9%, which is way lower than similar indicators for advanced economies as well as developing countries. International development institutions promptly responded and provided support to states in fighting the pandemic. I would like to note very prompt and efficient action taken by the bank's management. New Development Bank has become one of the first multilateral development banks that provided large-scale response to economic challenges posed by the pandemic. As of today, the bank has provided fiscal support to shareholder states amounting to over $9 billion. The establishment of New Development Bank has become one of the major practical achievements of the BRICS Forum. This year, we're coming to an end of the first strategy of the bank. One of the priority tasks for the next 5-year period for the bank should be the transformation of the New Development Bank, turning it into a full-fledged practical platform for expansion of economic cooperation between BRICS economies. I sincerely hope to see in the bank's portfolio large-scale multilateral projects. In the short periods in existence, the bank has come a long way from an ambitious idea to becoming a full-fledged multilateral development institute. Financial indicators speak for themselves. Bank obtained very high credit ratings from leading international and national rating agencies. I am convinced that in the next 5 years, the bank will be able to fully tap its potential as a global development institute. Achieving sustainable and inclusive growth, introduction of principles of responsible investment is becoming one of the key priorities for economic policies of all our countries. At the same time, the pandemic has posed new challenges to development institutions that today have to focus more on the development of human capital and creating advanced and modern social infrastructure. Since its establishment, the New Development Bank has always been considered by its founders as a global institution. In that respect, we believe we need to speed up our effort to expand membership of the bank. I hope this year already the Board of Governors will take a decision on new members. It's an exceptionally important stage in the development of the bank, and Russia will make every effort to help the new development bank move in this direction. I wish you all and your loved ones all the best. Stay healthy, stay well, and hope we'll meet again offline at the next annual meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Silvanov. Russia's support for NDB is deeply appreciated, as is your encouragement for our future growth and development. I am now pleased to invite Her Excellency, Minister Sitharaman, the Minister of Finance of India, to address us.
Honorable Governors, President Marcos Troyo, Senior Management and Staff of NDB, ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic is not only threatening to upend the socio-economic setup, but is also creating additional challenges, which countries around the globe will have to address to engineer a successful recovery and reignite growth. The IMF's latest World Economic Outlook has stated that amid exceptional uncertainty, the global economy is projected to grow 5.5% in 2021 and 4.2% in 2022. India is projected to grow 6.8% in 2022. India's quick efforts to limit the impact of the pandemic and to undertake massive vaccination have resulted in a robust and sustained recovery. India has been able to manage to flatten the epidemiological curve through various measures, including prompt rollout of COVID-19 vaccine, while we may have to contend with another wave. The world's largest vaccine drive by India is underway in the country and is moving forward at a rapid pace, and as of today, a total of more than 61.1 million vaccine doses have been administered in India. And I'm happy to inform that as of today again, India supplied 63.9 million made in India COVID vaccine doses to 80 countries, including 10.4 million vaccine doses as grant. Infrastructure investment have a positive spillover effects on the economic health of a country, and the COVID-19 pandemic has accentuated the need to improve infrastructure, including health sector. Encouraging innovation in design, sourcing, and timely delivery of infrastructure projects are critical. Multilateral development banks, including NDB, played an important role in counter-cyclical lending in times of crisis, with emphasis on recovery by shifting from long-term investment lending to faster disbursing and policy-based loans, and through portfolio and sectoral changes. Increasing participation from private investors in strategic sectors is essential to meet the sustainable development goals. NDB has to play an important role in crowding in private capital in member countries. NDB should develop new ways of scaling up resource mobilization, including exploring co-financing opportunities with other MDBs and explore innovative financing structures to support new lending. NDB should also facilitate through its regional offices to develop a pipeline of bankable projects, a need that is only further deepened by the COVID-19 pandemic and the global economic slowdown. Promoting environmental and social safeguards to enhance the sustainability of infrastructure is also critical. It may be pertinent to inform you that soon India will be setting up a new development finance institution with initial paid up capital of around $3 billion. It'll also leverage around $41.36 billion US dollars from the markets in a few years, with a lending target of 69 billion in next 3 years of US dollars. I look forward to NDB's partnership to develop synergetic relationships with this institution that share its development priorities to achieve greater results. To conclude, I am confident that together we shall overcome the current challenging times. I take this opportunity to assure India's continued support to the NDB and all member countries to bring back prosperity in an inclusive and sustainable manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Sitharaman, for your encouraging statement and guidance. I would now like to hand the floor to His Excellency, Minister Kun Liu, the Minister of Finance of China, to address us. Minister, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, Minister Siranov, fellow governors, President Troyo, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends. Greetings to you all. To begin with, on behalf of the Ministry of Finance of China, I would like to warmly congratulate on the convening of the 6th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the NDB and thank the Russian government, the colleagues from the member countries, and the bank management for their tremendous efforts leading up to this meeting. NDB, in keeping with its mandate, has vigorously supported the member countries' pandemic response and economic recovery, with its total approved emergency assistance loans reaching $8 billion. I applaud this achievement and want to express my sincere thanks to President Troyo and his team. At present, the COVID-19 is still raging across the world. The world economic circumstances are complicated and grave. Emerging economies in developing countries are suffering from a bigger than expected blow from the pandemic and are thus faced with greater challenges in realizing the SDGs. China, committed to building a community with a shared future for mankind, stands ready to work with the NDB, its member countries, and the rest of the international community to cooperate on the exchange of pandemic response experience and vaccine purchase in order to contribute to the world's early recovery over the pandemic and economic activities. Ladies, gentlemen, and friends, the year 2021 is the final year for the bank's first 5-year strategy and a crucial year when the second 5-year strategy will be launched. At this critical juncture, I want to make a few points of suggestions for the current role and future development of the NDB. First, NDB should support member countries' pandemic response and early economic recovery. It should implement the approved pandemic response programs and actively provide financial and intellectual support for member countries as they strengthen their weak links in the public health system. We encourage it to promote the exchange of pandemic response experiences among member countries, help them build a closer partnership for the research, production, use of vaccines to support member countries in independently selecting and purchasing valid vaccines. It should explore trade financing and other new business models to facilitate the trade ties and connectivity of industrial chain among member countries. In addition, we expect it to cooperate with other institutions to mobilize more financial and intellectual resources to help member countries' efforts in developing digital economy, green economy, and low carbon economy, and to cultivate new areas of growth for the BRICS countries. Second, NDB needs to expand its membership to build a global and multilateral platform. Membership expansion is of strategic significance for the bank to enhance the financial capacity, raise its credit rating, and enhance its international influence. And we also help promote the connectivity and the trade ties between BRICS countries and their neighboring countries. At present, the negotiation of the membership expansion is in progress. I hope all parties will continue to work hard, finish the mission of the first batch of new members at the early date, and actively advance the membership expansion in the years to come. China is ready to engage with the potential new members for this purpose. Third, the bank should enhance its innovation capacity to better support the infrastructure development of member countries. The theme of this year's annual meeting, which is New Development Paradigms, the evolution of infrastructure, is highly relevant. NDB should keep with the new trend of infrastructure development, increase support for 5G, digital center, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, industrial internet, and other new type of infrastructure, as well as innovative projects like green financing, smart city, and social infrastructure. At the same time, it may leverage infrastructure as a platform to boost the development of new technologies and develop innovative financial tools to foster a more mature infrastructure investment financing system by exploring guarantee, equity investment, and PPP business. It is also encouraged to increase local currency investment financing, further implement the country system policies, and draw upon and create new good practices for infrastructure development. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, China has made great strides in coordinating pandemic response and economic and social development and scored a full victory in eradicating poverty. The recently concluded 2 sessions of China have drawn up a blueprint for China's development during the 14th five-year plan period. China is now at the new development stage, applying the new development philosophy and fostering a new development paradigm with domestic and international circulations reinforcing each other. As China pursues a high-level opening up, it will mean greater market for the rest of the world and bring more opportunities for the cooperation between BRICS countries and emerging economies. China, which is the shareholder and host country of the NDB, will, as always, provide strong support and good services for the NDB. The NDB is scheduled to move into its new permanent headquarters building in this September. This is a milestone event in the operation and the development of the NDB. I look forward to meeting you at the new headquarters building in the near future and hope that the NDB could take this as an opportunity to strengthen the functions of headquarters, implement the one bank approach, and take its development to a higher level. To conclude, I wish the 6th annual meeting of the NDB a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Kun Liu, for your remarks. China is also the host country of NDB, and we take this opportunity to thank you for your strong support. I'm very pleased to invite His Excellency, Mr. Tito Mboweni, the Minister of Finance of South Africa, to address us. I'm told that Minister Mboweni will be with us shortly. He has lost connectivity. At this point, I will now turn the floor to Mr. Roberto Fend, Deputy Minister for Foreign Trade and International Affairs of the Ministry of Economy of Brazil. Minister Fend, you have the floor.
Thank you, Yolanda, Excellencies. After a year since the beginning of the pandemic, and we are still dealing with the tragic implications, inadequate recovery will require firm time and global collaboration to be successful. In spite of the challenging circumstances imposed by COVID-19, this organization succeeded in finding ways to move forward. I'm pleased to see that the spirit of cooperation between our countries is alive, and that our engagement over the past 5 years has built a solid foundation for the NDB's consolidation as a strategic development institution. Today, the NDB is one of the most important sources of multilateral finance to its member countries, with a focus on bridging the gap between financial needs and availability by supporting infrastructure and sustainable development efforts in BRICS countries. In 2020, the bank's portfolio in our countries has evolved significantly, with significant support in infrastructure and sustainable development projects, especially in Brazil. In light of today's agenda, allow me to highlight 3 issues. Firstly, I reaffirm our support to the membership expansion process, which has been extensively phased and comprehensively discussed. Brazil understands it is crucial to be attentive both to the need of including non-borrow members and to the benefits from attracting economies of different sizes and stages of development. Second, I refer to the General Strategy 2022-2026, which held a transparent and inclusive consultation process. Brazil considers the strategy has the potential to represent the watershed in the bank's trajectory as it reflects social inclusion in digital and social infrastructure as priority areas of operation. The strategy also plays a catalytic role in promoting the participation of the private sector in development projects. In this regard, a broad set of innovative financial instruments, including local currency lending, constitutes a key component of NDB's value proposition. Third, as regards the BRICS data room, we commend the management on its leadership towards the development of an integrated digital platform, as well as the organization of the workshop. We understand this sort of event lays the basis for reaching a common ground on the matter. Having said that, we are confident the NDB has the necessary mechanisms to successfully fulfill its mandate and to achieve its strategic development goals, in addition to accommodating the diversity of our members with flexibilities of different kinds. Finally, I'm very glad to join you today, and we wish you all a fruitful and productive meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fain, for your fitting remarks. I am now pleased to invite His Excellency Minister Tito Mboweni, the Minister of Finance of South Africa.
Thank you very much, Company Secretary. My greetings to the President of the bank, the Chairman of the Board of Governors, greetings to the Executive Vice President of the NDB, and greetings to all participants. It is indeed my great honor and privilege to join you in this 6th annual meeting of the New Development Bank. It feels like just yesterday when we launched the bank in Moscow, and we were all hopeful that this new institution we're creating will be both a disruptor and also a positive contributor in the world of development financing. And we were quite correct in this when we met in Moscow and launched this bank, the manner in which we did. Today, we can say that this baby that we launched 6 years ago is now a growing up baby, has gone through the school system. Now we know how to issue bonds, green bonds. We know how to receive a credit rating. We know how to interact amongst ourselves. And we're at the stage where we are now prepared to invite other countries to join our bank. Indeed, this is a remarkable achievement by all of us. But as we trudge on into the future, we are currently confronted by this horrible COVID-19 virus, which is ravaging through the world and through our countries, and requires all of us to cooperate together. And I'm pleased that India and the Russian Federation have been in the forefront of producing a vaccine that can be of assistance to all of us in the BRICS countries. And we should therefore seek to, in the first instance, cooperate amongst ourselves, use our own science and research to build a mutual solidarity in this process. A negative feature which has evolved during this pandemic has been what one can call vaccine narrow nationalism, where the richer countries have sought to accumulate as many vaccines as possible, and therefore making it very difficult for developing countries to access the vaccines. And the role that India and the Russian Federation are playing is very important, because these become the sources to assist the developing countries. The New Development Bank has been very critical in spearheading a new way of development and infrastructure funding. Here in South Africa, we're developing a process that we call blended infrastructure funding, which the New Development Bank will be a very great partner for us as we move forward. Colleagues, I know that some of our executive vice presidents will be retiring, and I wish them well and like to thank them for the work that they've done for our institution since its foundation. Mr. Chairman of the Board of Governors, Company Secretary, thank you very much, and I wish us a successful meeting. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Minister Mboweni, for those insightful and fitting remarks. For our final speech, I now have the pleasure to introduce Mr. Marcos Troyo, the President of the New Development Bank, to address us. Mr. President, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. Your Excellency, Minister Anton Silanov, Excellency Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Your Excellency Minister Kung Yu, Your Excellency Minister Tito Mboweni, Your Excellency Deputy Minister Roberto Finch. I am honored to address the annual meeting of the Board of Governors of our NDB. Let me start by congratulating Mr. Suliwanov for his leadership as chair of the board. I also want to say thank you to all governors. Your support and commitment are the strong pillars of our institution. The guidance and strategic role of the board is at the heart of NDB's growth and success. The bank, as has been said here, has had an impressive evolution since its very first days. The bank has focused on gaining scale and relevance, and those two objectives have been met. After all, our portfolio now stands at 76 projects, totaling $28 billion. They go from clean energy to urban development, from sanitation to social infrastructure. These are projects, Excellencies, that make people's lives better. They generate 2.8 gigawatt of renewable energy. This is equivalent to the installed capacity of a city like Delhi or the total installed solar power plants of South Africa. They comprise more than 15,000 kilometers of roads that are being built or upgraded. This is about the same distance from the city of the Shanghai headquarters where we stand to Fortaleza, where our articles of agreement have been adopted. These projects help build or upgrade 820 bridges. They avoid 5.5 million tons a year of CO2 emissions. That is equivalent to emissions from 1 million passenger vehicles. They extend 230 kilometers of urban rail transit networks. And this is about twice as large as the metro system of a big city like St. Petersburg. That's why I say the NDB is there to make a difference in financing infrastructure, and sustainable development is our mission. As we look towards the future, we want to make sure that the NDB is always enhancing the quality of its projects. Our duty is to maximize the development impact of what we do as an institution. In this regard, the establishment of the regional offices brought the NDB closer to the needs of our member countries. By the end of 2021, our local presence in Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa will be fully operational. Excellencies, countries and institutions social relief and economic recovery. As the world battles COVID, both long-standing and unprecedented development needs abound. The title of our annual meeting highlights such complexity. We must come up with new development paradigms in order to keep pace with the very evolution of infrastructure. That is why the new organizational structure of the New Development Bank will help us bring further private sector mobilization, talent, and sustainability to our core. As a result, the bank will be better equipped to cope with rising challenges and opportunities. The NDB has also successfully tapped international capital markets. Our inaugural dollar bonds were issued last year, and as recent as a week ago, we issued our first Sustainable Development Goals bond. Excellencies, the vision we shared last November with the BRICS leaders during the 12th summit is quite clear. Our drive is to enhance the NDB's profile by positioning it as a premier development bank for emerging economies. We are working towards membership expansion in a gradual and responsible way so that we can soon announce that the NDB family is growing. As the concept of infrastructure evolves, we're preparing the bank to deliver greater quality and multiply development benefits. And we value talent as the very key engine of our organization. Excellencies, one final word. Our institution is an interactive platform. The common goals of infrastructure and sustainable development are pursued here every day. For the new development bank, cooperation is both a value and a method, and improving people's lives is our highest priority. Thank you very much.